For decades, oil exploration has left devastating impacts on host communities in Nigeria. Gelegele in Ovia Northeast local government area of Edo State is one of such communities. Residents lament the loss of farm produce and the negative effects of acid rain on their bodies and rooftops due to gas flaring. As the world converges on Egypt for the 27th conference of the parties COP27, Just Nigeria's Vivian Oguche went to the community and spoke with environmentalists on what must be done to tackle this problem.
I said my father dear life now. I will not the fried garden.
This flare stack is located in Gelegele, Ovia Northeast local government area, Edo State. The temperature here is about 53 degrees Celsius. So hot that the police station had to relocate to the jetty.
The heat is pressurizing me in my home because the line following this fire, not there. Look the line of the iron where the bridge. Look my house there, the kitchen and everything there.
I'm just coming back from the hospital. I want to treat myself and my son.
Before we are producing truckload of plantain, cassava, but now nothing like that.
Dubre Oil Company Limited, owners of this flare stack, say due to agitations from this region, the need to cater for members of the community and carry them along in their operations is a priority. According to the company's website, provision of basic healthcare, electricity, and scholarship awards are some of the ways they give back to the community. But the host community is singing a different tune.
There's no light in this community. We are buying petrol in our generator.
We are suffering. People are dying. Even the healthcare here is not functioning well.
Gelegele Primary Health Care Center is a partnership between Dubre Oil Company and Gelegele community. The company donated the building while the community runs its day-to-day affairs.
The health center is not built the way it's supposed to be built. For example, we don't have a staff quarter, we don't have a toilet and bedroom for our patients. The only toilet and bedroom we have is only one for the staffs. And we are lacking of water.
Just Nigeria reached out to Dubre Oil Company Limited for comments, but the company's community relations officer, Clement Sewaje, said the company will only speak to journalists at an event scheduled from December 10th to 20th. Prompted that the story would have aired before then, Sewaje said it was okay. President of Host Communities Network, Babs Poweru, tells me host communities have always been given the short end of the stick.
The Ministry of Environment actually has never done anything for our communities in Edo State. The gas levy penalty should be paid. That's what the law says. The PIA, the Petroleum Industry Act, says Section 104, Section 4, Subsection 4 says the penalty from the gas levy should be paid to the host community directly.
We made repeated efforts to get the Edo State Ministry of Environment's side of the story to no avail. The permanent secretary, Joel Idonwe, initially agreed to an interview, but backed out at the last minute. This month, Nigeria's House of Representatives mandated its Committee on Gas Resources to investigate the gas flare volume reported by the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSTRA's gas flare tracker, to ascertain the amount of gas flared, extent of discrepancies, and the amount of revenue due to the government from gas flare penalties, which officially stands at $2 per 1,000 standard cubic feet. This move is geared towards Nigeria's migration to a green economy. Some Nigerians say they might not understand the science of global warming, which is an aspect of climate change, but they notice changes in the weather and seasons.
I think the hot weather is due to global warming.
What I know concerning the global warming is the change of weather worldwide. It's not only Nigeria.
Scientists first raised the possibility that burning fossil fuels would lead to a warm Earth more than 1 century ago. In fact, the idea of the greenhouse effect has been known since the 1820s, but it was a women's rights activist, Eunice Foote, who first showed how it worked. In 1856, she used an air pump to fill glass cylinders with different gases and then tested the effect of sunlight on them. One of them was carbon dioxide, which accounts for about 80% of greenhouse gases. Foote's experiment showed that carbon dioxide and water vapor trap heat more than other gases, and then the potential effects on the climate began to emerge. To mitigate the impact of climate change on a global scale, the United Nations introduced the Conference of Parties in March 1995. But the question activists ask is, how well has these sessions served Nigeria and Africa at large?
The COP27, the fact that it was held in Egypt of all places, so it's given a lot of regard and respect to Africa, and the Secretary General of the United Nations and some of the other speakers like Al Gore have been emphasizing that we must intervene on behalf of Africa. They contributed least to the problem, and yet they're going to be one of the people who are most badly affected.
We've been hearing of promises, commitment said, commitment written, but not commitment fulfilled.
As world leaders meet in Egypt for the much-touted two-week climate change summit COP27, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, in an article on the Washington Post, said African leaders are frustrated by what he calls Western hypocrisy. In closing the article, President Buhari said, and I quote, "Western countries are unable to take politically difficult decisions that hurt domestically. Instead, they move the problem offshore, essentially dictating that the developing world must swallow the pill too bitter for their own voters' palates. Africa didn't cause the mess, yet we pay the price. At this year's COP, that should be the starting point for all negotiations." As the weather and seasons continue to change with devastating effects like sea water rise, wildfires, and drought, among others, environmentalists say this generation is clearly the last to reverse the course of climate change.
People that discuss environmental issues, that handle environmental issues for the country, must be people who are well in tune with current situations around the world and what is best for us.
Stop the poison that's going into the atmosphere and plant hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not trillions of trees, and preserve the ones that are there already, especially places like the Amazon and also the Congo and the ones that we have left in Nigeria and the mangroves.
Everyday experiences show how the effects of the changing climate affect all people from all nations due to harmful practices. For residents of Gelegele, transformation seems possible, but they believe political will is needed to make it happen. Vivian, Oguche, Gist Nigeria.